So we've gone through the topics we've gone through. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that we need to bring up on the podcast. You know what that means, right?
Is it going to come out of a bag?
Here it is. There's the bag. I still have to. Yes, of course. I have to find a way to properly decorate it. But the grab bag is back. I did promise we'd have the grab bag back. And we are bringing in some quick hitters for the next little while here. How about this one? Straight out the bag here. I wasn't sure if we're able to get the rustling in because we know there are some people who are into ASMR. How about this topic to start? What do you think of Troy Terry's hot start? The Anaheim Ducks forward who finds himself in some pretty dope company when it comes to goals and points. Guys like Ovechkin and McDavid and Draisaitl. Seems like he's doing all right. What do you think of Troy Terry and his hot start?
The Ducks are probably the team that we've criminally under-discussed on the pod, just given that they have to be one of the biggest surprises in the league.
I agree.
And obviously we talked about the Bob Murray situation when he resigned as general manager. But, I don't look, they have assembled a nice group of prospects, some of whom are playing right now, some of whom are not, one of which is Troy Terry, who's, gets a point in every game, it seems. And, it's pretty exciting to see where that organization's getting to, honestly. And I think that he deserves a little love, does Troy Terry, because, I get that Anaheim, isn't getting tons of pub. They're playing late at night, all the old sort of tropes, but there's some truth to them. And this is a guy who started for the U.S. World Junior team and was a late round pick. This wasn't a case of, the Ducks have had some top 10 selections recently too, but it doesn't come by the same pedigree, but has really developed into an impact scorer for them. He's made a difference. I mean, Ryan Getzlaf, like I wondered where his career is at. I mean, there was legitimate move to have him traded potentially at last year's deadline. Mm-hmm. I think Montreal asked to have him waive a no trade clause or no move clause. Vegas was hanging around there. It's hard to say how close any particular trade got, but it was more than just one phone call, if you know what I mean. Like there was some dialogue going on there to see if he would do it. He ultimately chose not to move on. He resigned for another year, and he's just become the leading scorer in the franchise history and hit 1,000 points. So, good on him. But I think that he's been a bit reborn this year. And so, look, it's not all the bad teams. Like it's easier for us to gravitate and talk to the underperformers, whether that is the Canadiens this year or the Vancouver Canucks, what have you. But, Anaheim's authoring a pretty good story, winning a ton of games. And the Pacific Division, actually, I thought it was going to be terrible. It's not terrible so far. I mean, Edmonton and Calgary both look fairly strong to start the year. Now you got Anaheim, like San Jose has been better than expected. LA had a long winning streak. Vegas is obviously there kind of trying to work through their injury issues still, slowly getting guys back. But there's, I think that division oddly could end up producing some drama. And, at this point in time, I'm willing to say with where the Ducks have started, like I'd be surprised if they didn't make the playoffs. Maybe a little soon to jump there, but I've been watching this team. Like Dallas Aikens quietly, their head coach has got them playing well, and Troy Terry's a big part of that. So let's give them some love. I like where you're at with this grab bag item.